This is the video on using evidence correctly in your body paragraphs. So this is the real critical thinking part of the paper. We've done a lot of work finding mistakes in other people's arguments, pointing out omissions, ambiguities, pretending things are black and white, or wishful thinking. Now it's your turn to make an argument that doesn't have any of those errors and that it doesn't have any logical fallacies and uses evidence to back everything up perfectly and is really, really persuasive and also shows academic writing, which this class is designed to teach you a little bit of along with your English classes. So let's talk about body paragraphs. Okay. Body paragraphs are framed with organizational sentences at the beginning and the ending. These sentences are like the steel frame that holds up the building. Okay? Everything you write about your topic in terms of the evidence and the analysis are the pretty walls that are going to get filled in. But the opening and closing sentences, they are the frame, okay, upon which your building is built. In the beginning, you have to start with a topic sentence that states what the evidence in the paragraph will prove. We have to know why we're getting these facts, what they're meant to show. And even though you'll do that in analysis too, you still have to tell us the overall point in a topic sentence, okay? And at the end, you have to use a closing sentence to wrap up your paragraph and remind us how this point connects to the overall thesis, okay? That's the minimum you have to do. And if you were writing an awesome paper, you will also use a transition sentence to connect to the next topic. So this sentence can actually go at the end of one paragraph or the beginning of the next, which would make the topic sentence second. But you never want the topic sentence to be more than second, because then it'll get buried and the reader won't be able to figure out the point of the paragraph. Oh no. Okay, so that's what you're trying to avoid. So what's in the middle? In the middle is the meat of the paper. It's the evidence and the analysis. So every time you use a piece of evidence, you should put it in a sandwich. Okay? I need you to remember this sandwich guy. Okay? And here's the sandwich. It goes context, evidence, analysis. Okay? The context tells us where the information is from. Is it from someone with a doctorate who's super reliable and has done research studies? Or is it what your grandmother told you yesterday? Not to diss your grandmother. Grandmothers are great. Okay? I fought with mine constantly, until she lost her marbles. But they're great. Okay. Context is where is the information from? Okay? It means something a little bit different if you're writing a literary essay. So if you're in my English class, there'll be a variation of this video and how it's different, okay, when we get there. But for a persuasive essay like this, where information is coming from a lot of different sources, context is where it's from. Then you have the evidence. In an essay like this, I really encourage you to paraphrase, which means summarize in your own words rather than quote. If you do quote, there should be no quotes longer than 2 lines. Okay? I don't want paragraphs that are full of quotations with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of analysis. Okay? That's not. The balance should be the other way. So evidence should mostly be summarized in your own words. If the author's particular words are important, sometimes, occasionally, you can quote. But it should mostly be paraphrased in your own words. Okay? Then we have analysis. What does it mean? How does it relate to what you're trying to prove? Okay? So here's a couple examples. Okay, these are not complete body paragraphs. These are just examples of evidence sandwiches. Okay. In its annual report, Every Town, a nonprofit that promotes gun control. Context. I just told you where the information is from. Published statistics showing that there are 15 gun deaths of black people for every gun death of a white person. That's the fact that's on the website. Now here's my analysis. Clearly, racial bias plays a part in determining the number of gun deaths, making the gun debate an equity issue. Are the white males of the NRA minimizing a problem that affects minorities disproportionately because of their unconscious bias? Okay. You'll note that my analysis is the biggest part. So again, what I don't want is quotation analysis. No, it should be fact. And now they should be at least equal or more analysis. Okay. Because the analysis is your thinking. It's your telling us why this is important. Okay. Second example. Freedom House collects data on whether the citizens of a country enjoy both political or personal rights. That's where the info is coming from. Notice that in this example, it was part of another sentence. That's fine. Context can be a partial sentence. And in this example, the context was a whole sentence. Either way is fine. In 2011, the results showed most of Asia ranking as not free. Okay, I have my citation there. You need to look at that video. This raises the question of what is happening in Asia that makes the results so low. Okay, so in this one, my analysis only matches the amount of facts I have, so that's the minimum, is to make the amount of information and the amount of analysis equal. All right, so that is my advice on writing a body paragraph. Okay, in future videos, I'm going to talk about even the nuts and bolts of how you quote when you want to quote and how you do the citations correctly. Good luck writing.